Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another week of ECAC Valorant. I am Septilence, joined by Dryad, and tonight we are bringing you what is guaranteed to be an evening of firsts, as we have two teams with perhaps not the best record so far this season, but one of them has to win tonight. We've got University of North Carolina, Greensboro, going up against Wake Forest University. But before we get into all that, did I even introduce myself? I have no idea. I'm Septilence. That's Dryad. Dryad, how you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, excited for this one. Like you said, 0-3 for both of the teams, so a victory guarantee. The first victory guarantee for at least one of them, and only one of the teams getting away with it. So, yeah, a lot of questions. It still feels like it's the beginning of the season, right? It still
Yeah.
feels like there's a lot of possibility for improvement. And this is kind of the way that you start introducing that, right? With that first victory that you take and just studying the maps and studying what is going to work out, what is not going to work out, especially because we have some pretty interesting map selection today.
The interesting is certainly the word on that one, Dryad. Not only are we seeing Fracture today, we're starting with it. So that is definitely going to be a bit of a, I don't know if it's a first, but it's certainly an uncommon event to be happening. We will go from Fracture guaranteed into Breeze, and then if it is a tiebreaker up to that point, we will see Split. So these are all very different maps, and I mean that in quite the literal, the physical sense, but the compositions and play styles on these maps are different just as much.
And especially in Fracture, right? Is it the
Yeah.
latest map that we got in Valorant, and it is one of those maps where people everywhere in the world really are still deciding what really works in this map. I've seen a lot of conversations about playing a Wraith instead of a Jet and how much valuable she can get just because there's so many closed areas. But at the same time, it's a very, very complicated map,
Yeah.
especially for when you are defending. And that means that the variety is pretty much needed every single time that we see a match like this one until we get to see a little bit more of established meta.
Yeah, like you said, the meta has not been established quite yet, but I believe we're going to be jumping, yes, into the agent select here on Fracture. This is Wake Forest versus UNC Greensboro. Okay, I'm just going to hope Armando is, memeing a little bit. I'd be shocked to see the neon coming out, but you just talked about the importance, Triad, of that raise here instead of that jet, and it looks like Greensboro is going to be trying to run that today.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it's something that feels still pretty recent where teams
Right.
have decided to play more of that race. But obviously, again, it makes sense, right? There's a lot of close angles very similar to some parts of Split, where you know that the race is going to be able to shine a little bit brighter compared to other agents in general, other duelists. And it goes the same way for initiators, for example. Initiators that work really well in close areas include the KO that we're seeing right now for the attacking side. So it's one that I like to see. Is one that is also not very common, even though KO by itself it's pretty strong, has very good abilities, has a really good flash as well to guarantee some control of sight. So this is obviously what the attackers are going to be going with for the specific two agents that they have selected so far.
Yeah, and that KO, he's got that 0-point knife, which is so unbelievably strong. It can completely nullify all abilities that somebody might be bringing to the table, locking in a KJ on the side of UNC and an Astra to boot. So Greensboro, they're definitely going with a pretty expected composition. I'm not seeing any surprises other than that KO, like you mentioned. And Wake Forest, I think they're playing it just as safe. They're not going to take any risks they don't have to. A Viper locked in on both sides now, though. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that chamber, as him existing on the side of Wake Forest essentially means they're playing triple duelist.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have the Jet and the Reyna on the side of the defense, plus that the Chamber that is also known to be playing very aggressive and also being able to play a lot of really good control of sight. Just especially because the team is going to start on the defense, right? So you have a KO, you know, you have a Chamber, you know that those abilities are going to be connecting right away, and you know that there's always that potential for those kills and even those safe rounds where it feels like it shouldn't be happening. And even then, I mean, at the end of the day, I still want to benefit the side, only based on composition. I still want to benefit the side of what UNCG is bringing to the table.
Absolutely.
It just seems a little bit stronger in terms of composition. It seems like they can have a lot more control. And based on that Sentinel alone, that Killjoy can do so much to hold that space into going to a post-one scenario where you're just building your team for success.
Yeah, and not only that KJ, but we've got to talk about that Astra as well. Currently in discussion as the strongest agent in the game of Valorant, something that the pros have been bringing out a lot lately, and she is truly, I mean, she's got an insanely high skill floor, but once you cap that, you can do some incredible things with this Astra. I believe Chase is going to try to do just that. We've got some Great corner clearing already, but Fish,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, we're not going to get to see a darn thing. The Astra taken offline with a single click.
And there's nothing else that you can do there, right? It's a way to start up pretty strong first out of Wake Forest, but now that information is when it becomes the most key. For this card, we see some drop, but the trades are not even happening. It's just out of Greensboro getting taken down.
Greensboro taken down, and Conrad taken out by a pop buddy, no less. Not the way you want to go out, but you got quite a few frags on your way. A 2-for-1 trade and a lead that was very strong on the side of Wake Forest. All of a sudden has crumbled just a little bit. We see a 3v2, but 2 of those members can't be any more than 13 HP. That chamber, has got to be 1 HP.
So low, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Barely anything to work with here as well.
And with these 2 to go against, I mean, one nade from the KJ, 1 snake bite from the Viper. I mean, those 2 were dead before they even get the chance to realize what's happening. I think we're really looking at kind of a Viper v KJ situation. Both the 1 HP peeking the same corner and somehow both living to tell the tale. Armando down. 3v1 here, 75 HP, but it's about to turn into a 1v1 unless Fish, with that 1 HP and a dream, can sneak right up on that KJ and find the defuse. Wake Forest still winning round 1.
UNCG, what they did there was interesting, right? Because we see a turret being thrown right after the first kill happened, after they lost one of their members, but the turret was aiming and looking towards where the spike was planted, not to the other way. So you knew the defense for the post-plant scenario. The turret was not going to detect them. There was not a lot of information. You knew the 2 members were going to be close to that area, right on site. But if they wanted to come from behind, the turret, they had all the possibility to do that. So just with that information game is going to be Wake Forest getting away with that first round. And also a force that we see overall coming in for this one. All Spectres around.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. 9 Spectres on the board. Conrad going as high as buying a Vandal. So this is going to be a serious investment on both sides. If Greensboro loses this one, that's going to be, I mean, they're practically handing over 2 more rounds. We could be looking at a 4-0, but if Wake Forest loses this, we're going to be tied up 1-1 all the same.
Yeah, it's a risky one for sure. Especially because it all depends so much on the information game, and because you're committing those Spectres, you can buy all the utility that you wanted to ensure that information.
Right, now Fish now going to be using that gun, able to get out of there. The Headhunter does a little bit of damage, but not as much as you'd like. Chase with that opening elimination in favor of Greensboro is traded out by Fish there. Armando falls 4v4, a health advantage for Wake Forest. I'm looking at this next firefight. Who's it going to be? Shreve falls to Dean, and Dean hardly taking damage in the process. Fish picks up that Vandal, already looking like the MVP of the side of Wake Forest, just putting in the numbers every single round. Bush taken out by the Viper, 3v2. It looks like Greensboro is going to try to play it patient. They're going to try to play out the spike here.
Visual has a Vandal? Did I see that right? I feel like it missed a key part of information, and now it's a 2v2. It gets a lot more risky. Yeah, there it is. It's just... it's a gun diff, really.
Totally.
There's nothing else to call it that, and a massive mistake there coming in with a force buy. All those Spectres being bought by instead of UNCG that didn't really get as much value as they wanted to, and didn't even get all the amount of kills that they needed to win this round. So like I said, it just kind of snowballs from bad to worse, to the point that they have maybe 2 more rounds where the economy is not going to be there for UNCG.
Yeah, and the fact that Wake Forest won the round with 2 survivors, it wasn't just a 1-person final stand. There's still going to be 2 guns online from the previous round. So this, as you called it last round, I think this is going to be a gun diff even more so. Best case scenario, UNCG is busting out pistols, and with a Vandal and a Spectre still on the board, I mean, Wake Forest should have this round pretty much for free.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about continuing to control that space, and it's a massive round. It's a massive number of rounds that they can get away with as well.
Boy!
Tour de force, I mean, what is Fish not doing? He's bringing everything to the table. A gun, a first kill that we saw from this entire map coming in from him, and now a tour de force to guarantee a little bit more. So it's absolutely everything coming in for this player, and again, just to guarantee that space. Look, the defense has every single angle that they could be covered. They're not pushing forward, they're being very patient about it.
Yeah, we saw on the minimap there a bit of a timing diff. Fish rotated around to look at Dish, and that raise had just gotten out. That could have been disastrous, but it looks like we're going to get a rotation onto B side for the first time. So after 2 failed A attempts, UNCG has decided they're going to change things up just a little bit. Justice there and Ness waiting for the opportunity to strike. Armando goes for the blind fire, not able to find it, getting decayed out by the opposing Viper. healed back up. Nobody capitalizes yet, but oh my goodness, it is a massacre. A 3K in favor of Wake Forest. The spike falls on that B site nonetheless. Dean able to find a body shot, but not able to confirm that kill. But now you're just getting pushed on. Conrad able to find one. Dean takes out Conrad, but Justice is going to get the round win, and I believe the Vandal as well. Somebody grabbed it, so it will survive to the next round.
Almost a flawless coming in for Wake Forest, a 3-0 that we have so far, and this is why it's such a difficult map, really, to figure out exactly the composition and the positioning that is going to work out. But I like the strategy for the defense. We've seen some teams in this map in specific where they are pushing on the goals. They're playing a little too aggressive. But for Wake Forest, they're holding those corners. They are waiting as long as they have to, and they're guaranteeing that these kills are going to be theirs, along with just all the economy that they've had to work with.
The economy, I mean, tied up in quotes. Once again, we see Greensboro going for another full buy. They've got Vandals and Phantoms online, but I don't think they have full utility. That may bite them in the butt further down the line, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. A bit of an aggressive push onto A site, but is it going to be a fake? We see two rotating out around to the attacker's spawn. But where's the spike? Yeah, no, it is a full-blown fake onto B here, but Conrad may get a double, and that'll just turn things right back over in Greensboro's favor. Slow rotation now. Here's the running. Puts down Dean. They heard the footsteps of somebody else. The ultimate from Bush. That is a move of desperation. The 0-point knife as well, and what a one-tap from Conrad. That is going to take that KO down in the blink of an eye. A great opportunity. Chase able to find that trade. The damage may have already been done, though. One more elimination from Wake Forest to really secure another lead, and Conrad just tearing it up right now.
Oh, Conrad was doing so much, and it seems like it's going to be a cleanup coming in. The last one gets taken down, and the fourth round now coming in for Wake Forest. They are looking so good. Once again, all the patience. It could have been, right, it was a fake. We saw an A to B rotation coming in for the attacking side, but the defense, they didn't all fall for it, right? Conrad was just there, was stuck to that positioning, and when that flash came in for Chaos, it didn't connect, right? That would have been an indication, that would have been an opening coming in for UNCG, but it didn't really happen. They weren't expecting that jet to be in that low run, right? It's usually all the way up, so a massive opportunity here for them to continue building this a lot more.
Yeah, we saw the nade into Nest and everything. They believed that jet was up there, but unfortunately she was not. Now Justice gonna find another elimination onto Dean. That's gotta be what, 5 elims? Nearing the top of the leaderboard, but Bush with a phenomenal wallbang headshot onto Justice, able to find that elimination. 4v4, so for the first time in a long time, UNCG is not in a deficit in the middle of the round here. But as I say that, Conrad is going to find that cleanup kill. Looks like a little bit of damage from Fish, who is currently 6-0, trying probably not to die as few times as possible. Chase getting up and around, though this flank could be huge. Armando down, and oh my goodness, Chase going to fall to that Viper. It is up to Cheeky once again. Only a Spectre to their name.
Oh, the last one live here is going to get stunned. The opportunities here just melting away. The Killjoy trying to get something going, trying to get at least a couple kills here for the economy, but yeah, it's just a nightmare to deal with. Getting taken down at the end, and this out of Wake Forest, they're going to get away with yet another round, and that one was a little bit faster coming in for them because they have so much map control to work with, and it was supposed to be almost a rush coming in for UNCG, but when you are rushing, you're risking so much map control that the enemy is able to take, and that is exactly what we saw for the defense, right? They were just taking over every single corner, every single angle, denying the possibilities for the attacking side to run away, to get any rotations, and the kills, even though we saw some trees at the beginning, they didn't really end up mattering at all.
Definitely does not seem like it mattered much at all. Oh my
How
goodness,
does he do it?
How does he do it? Yet to go down. I think that's 8-0, 7-0. We're 6 rounds in. We're in the 6th round right now, and Fish still has not been eliminated a single time. The only player currently in lobby with 0 deaths. Which 6 rounds in, I mean, you see that almost never. It is incredible chase. Able to get not only an elimination, but the spike as well onto Ditch. Cheeky down, and Conrad taken out by Dean. Oh, Armando finding an elimination onto Shreve, and a lead that was so strong for Wake Forest just a minute ago is now hardly in their favor.
Absolutely. It's an interesting one. Only 2 members alive for UNCG, and it seems like almost every time they don't have the numbers advantage to work with, and it is so unfortunate. Because of that, the last couple of rotations are going to take place. The defense making sure that no one is going to be pushing too aggressive, and a showstopper here trying to get someone, but there's no one around.
There is nobody around, and Fish with the line fire through the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it is just Fish all day long right now. I believe that's 9-0.
Literally, how does he do it? It is absolutely insane what the side of Wake Forest is bringing to the table today. And for the side of UNCG, the timing just doesn't seem quite right when it comes to information gathering. The only thing that I've been able to see properly has been the boombot coming in for Dean to spot someone. He usually doesn't spot anyone, and besides that, not even the Viper wall that we've seen too often coming in for the attacking side.
Great flash from Conrad. Oh my god. What an over-aggression. It worked out so well. I mean, just a double kill already in their favor. Which so far the Sheriff, I mean, has been truly impressive. But unfortunately, he has not been there to follow up. Conrad now looking for the ace, already able to get 3, looking for 2 more. There's the 4th, and it's up to the tail to save the day. Conrad goes in deep. Oh, they're able to find it. Conrad.
Classic.
Ace in round 7, a classic to wrap it up.
Nice one coming in from Conrad. Wake Forest, they're literally just absolutely on fire right now. 7-0 on this map, on a map where the defense is not really the easiest thing to deal with. It's very complicated. You need to coordinate so many positionings at the same time, and usually it's not the easiest thing to make work out. But Wake Forest, they're making an amazing performance. A Blade Storm available for Conrad. If he wants another ace, I mean, the possibility is going to be there.
Yeah, the possibility is certainly just around the corner. And oh, unless you missed, never mind, you finally find that Blade, able to spike as well, down to 76 HP out the gate. And oh, no ace this time, Dryad. Reed is going to find that elimination onto Bush, taking them out early. Dean, oh, what a great play. They're able to find that nade through the smoke and get that elimination with the headshot. Conrad falls to chase as well.
You want to find it?
There's going to be the pressure. Oh my goodness. Okay, a very aggressive Cosmic Divide from Greensboro, and as Chase goes down, that Divide, unfortunately, just not going to have the impact they wanted. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. The timing for the Cosmic Divide, I'm not really sure of. And a trade coming in that tried to happen, tried to take place. And for the first time, it seems like a 2v2 to deal with. Well, there's only 15 seconds remaining. And the defense already know that that rotation is about to take place.
Yeah, the rotation getting read like a children's book here, moving into the A side. It's going to be a 2v2. I think everybody's just about full HP. That Raze took, I think, 1 bullet from the brim, so not a whole bunch. Blast back in again. Going to get taken out as a 1v1. Will this be Fish's first death? Oh, it certainly will! He TP's right into Armando, and that is Greensboro finally putting themselves on the board.
That's the first kill, right? For this chamber? Yep. And it is the most unfortunate one. How do you TP right in front of the enemy? I don't know. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence there. I would have liked to see a proper retake coming in, especially for the 1v1 where, you know, the TP is so loud. So making any mistakes, especially right on site, when time is running out, are not going to be allowed. The first round going for the side of UNCG after that one, but Wake Forest, they have all the advantage still to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like you said, those teleporters, you might as well play a tuba on your way into site. Those things are so loud, and it gives you away 100% of the time. They're better to get out than to get in, for sure. And I think, you know, maybe Fish learned that the hard way. Like you said, maybe a bit of overconfidence. If I was 9-0 on round 8, I'd be pretty stinking confident too. But, you know, you're still in a great position. We've got a lockdown coming out early. KO side of UNCG, and also 2 ultimates, only 2 they haven't blocked. Trying to come out quick. Shreve looking for a floor bang.
I don't think they can get that. No, the lockdown is going to take place. 2 players actually detained.
Oh, it's a 1-1 trade. I don't think I've ever seen a lockdown get 2 people. That ultimate so rarely actually gets stuns, but 2 of them did make that appearance, unfortunately. UNCG not able to capitalize. Oh, it is bounty time now on the side of Wake Forest. People making an appearance. Can Conrad capitalize? The answer will be no. Oh my goodness. UNCG, it feels like they may have finally woken up just a little bit. They're getting themselves large and in charge, trying to put that second round away.
There's a big potential here for that 1v2, though. It's just all about this positioning, especially when an op can be risky, but taking control of that space is going to be necessary coming in here.
This is going to be a really tough situation for Fish to win, honestly. There's an incredible crossfire from the 2 remaining. He has no idea where either of them are. There's like a 99% chance Fish gets crossfired here. However, Chase goes down earlier than Astra, only a bullet from death. You've got to get in quick. That spike's starting to go off. Will Dean fall for the fake? Nope, playing it calm, cool, and collected. Honestly, had Fish took this, they would have won the round, but what a reaction! It looks like they've got more than enough time on the clock here, and my goodness, as you keep saying, Brad, what can't Fish do? I mean, look at that, 0.15.
It was really nice because he had no information of where the last two members were, but he was able to isolate those duels to take away that victory. And especially because after he makes sure that he's clearing every single angle possible into that side, to the point that only tower is going to be remaining, and dealing with that one becomes a lot easier for that 1v1 scenario. So good one, a good run. Definitely a good one for that chamber as well for Fish and for Wake Forest to get away with yet another one. It's an 8-1. An absolutely insane defense that Wake Forest is bringing to the table today.
Yeah, they have decided they would like to secure that win as quickly and as efficiently as possible. It's just been the Wake Forest, I mean, practically the Fish show all day long so far. It's such an impressive play from this chamber. And I'm trying to look right now. So Fracture is actually UNCG's pick. So this is super interesting. This is their map pick, and they're currently being 8-1 in the first half.
And I believe that, right? Because we look at the composition, we talked about it, the better composition in paper, at least, it's supposed to be UNCG. They have a pretty strong composition to get information, to actively play and get those kills, but it's just not working out the way that they expected. And it is just Wake Forest taking control of side and getting the kills. Oh, Fish, this time around, though, doesn't really connect.
Oh, not able to find that second one either. Knows it's the better call to get out of dodge. UNCG, they're going to be praying for a defense. You know, with a Viper and a KJ, their team may be a little more defensive-oriented, but even when it is, you can't be allowing yourself to be at an 8-1 deficit. Best case scenario right now is Greensboro wins this, they win the next two, but as they walk one by one into Fish's operator line of sight, it is just going to be a bloodbath. This may be a flawless UNCG at this rate. Just able to find Chase Bush, putting in the work, but there's work left to be done. That's Wake Forest filling up 9-1 here in the first half.
Fish making it up for those shots that he missed early on. Gets Stu, makes it all the advantage once again to go for the side of his team, to go for the side of Wake Forest. And with that, yeah, like I said, the 9th round going their way. At this point, I want to see an aggressive rush coming in for UNCG with a Viper's Pit. That would give them such a massive advantage of that side control that they haven't ever so far been able to take. But in his save round, things become so much more difficult for them to deal with.
Hey, I say you buy a couple of shorties, maybe some buckies, you Viper ult on site, and you just chill. You just chill. They'll walk into you eventually.
I don't think they're chilling, though.
58% of the time, that works 100% of the time. I will have you know that works occasionally in my rank, which I'm not going to disclose on stream, but it's not a very high one. Conrad able to find that first elimination on his page here. Wake Forest looking large and in charge. This team is back. Conrad putting 2 down already. A little bit of damage on the side. Oh, okay, a lot of damage. Conrad gonna go down, but Justice finds that straight out early. With Sheriff, but there's a new Sheriff in town by the form of Justice on this Reyna. And Dryad, that round was about 3 sentences long.
Okay, surely, don't worry, because this time around, this is when you use the Viper's Pit. This is when you get value out of what we talked about, and this is the last round before we're going to the second half. So it's like a now or never situation coming in for the side of UNCG and what they're able to do. And I believe this round could go their way just based on those ultimates, because they can become so strong. You have the Viper Spit that I already talked about. Is going to give them so much control, and I already like that. They are going to be playing together as well.
Yeah, we've got some action coming out here onto the B site. A little bit of a fake from the Viper, and she's arguably the most important one to not go down. Oh, we've got the Empress now coming out, and I believe, it's going to be a lot of action. Now we've got, okay, there's a lot going on. We've got the Breacho, we've got the Viper's Pit, we've got the Tour de Force, and now we've got the Stun, the KO hack, and the Cosmic Divide. Every ultimate under the sun being used, a 4v4 across the board. This is going to be all about patience. We've still got a little bit of a Viper 1v1 happening on the B site.
Yeah, they're so close.
That dictates how this round ends more than the A site fight does.
But why is the Viper on the side of UNCG playing on the other side? It's what I'm waiting to understand. Because sure, you can trade, and you could have traded there, but the Viper Spit, like we talked about, becomes a #1 win condition for the side of UNCG, and you gotta play anything for that.
18 HP jumper almost goes down. Now a counter Viper's Pit, not quite a Venn diagram, but pretty stinking close about casting in the same spot. UNCG to have numbers. Chase misses quite a few shots, and Fish is not going to miss
30
one of his own.
left.
3v3. Oh, make it 3v3. Goes down Armando. Next ball, it is up to Bush to save the day. The top frag on the side of UNCG gets taken out by the second frag on the side of Wake Forest. Try it. This is scary. Wake Forest has to win the pistol round, and Fracture's pretty much over.
Only 2 rounds to guarantee that Wake Forest are going to get away with this map. And like you said, it's an interesting fact too. We talked about it. This is a decision for the maps that came from UNCG. And this is a composition that, again, in paper should be working better, should be getting more value compared to what Wake Forest is bringing. But only the trades, only the kills alone are doing everything for Wake Forest. And we've talked about Conrad full A's that he was able to get even with a classic towards the end. And also the kills that we've been seeing constantly with an operator coming in for official. But this time around, it can get denied a little bit. It can get stopped with that momentum. And it really is all depending on this pistol round.
This pistol round is the final opportunity for UNCG to not only win the round, but to flip momentum in their favor. Because if they lose this one, perhaps it's scripted to lose the next one, and then things can really fall apart from there. But Bush able to find a huge elimination onto Conrad, whose dashes in have never ceased to amaze me. A very confident play to dash into an enemy like that. There's about a nearly 2-second fall after you kind of dash in before she pulls her gun out, and you can fire. Dean able to find a nade kill onto Wake Forest's Viper. UNCG, I mean, they're up by 2 right now. Make it 3 as Justice gets caught up by Chase. Maybe this is the defense they were waiting for. Oh my goodness, Bush able to find Fish. Is it going to be? No, it will be. It's a flawless win for UNCG.
That's a nice one to start it off. Again, if the pistol round went to the side of Wake Forest, it was going to be over. Essentially, just with those Spectres and everything that we've seen from them before, the high-level performance that they've shown us today. But now, UNCG, they get away with the pistol round. They stand another chance here. And I think Wake Forest, ideally, and it seems like they might just respect that. They're not going to commit. They're not going to be forcing any Spectres here, but going with the standard of how things should be working round after round. And UNCG, but that can build some momentum to work with.
Yeah, and statistically speaking as well, you know, if Wake Forest loses rounds 1 and 2, they are relatively often expected to win round 3 and 4. They only need 2 rounds to put it away, right? So they are certainly not sweating at an 11-2 scoreline.
Yeah.
I knew they were going to do better on the defense, but I mean, I did not expect a flawless pistol round. That is just about the most aggressive way to flip momentum.
Oh, but what else can they do for that momentum, though? Because those classics and the sheriffs that we see in the hands of Wake Forest, it can also do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, the Sheriff, definitely a gun that is pretty well known for its one-tap headshot ability, and if you miss that one tap, usually you're going to lose the firefight. We've seen some exceptions here and there, but right now it is just Wake Forest playing the clock. They know there's quite a few players on the side of that the A site, but I truly don't know. The first elimination will dictate the remainder of this match, and as Sharif is the first to fall, and Justice not far behind. Oh, Dropper also falls. I mean, UNCG, they are looking notably, unbelievably so, stronger here on the defense.
They are looking a lot better here, and they are able to connect those trades in a way that we haven't really seen before from them, which is a crucial part of winning, especially in a map like this one, where even the utility that we see towards the beginning is not really mattering. It's all coming up to the kills and who's able to connect the kill to who first. This is why UNCG, they're managing to stay on top at least for this round, and at least for what it seems like, because the spike cannot be planted.
Yeah, we would need quite the crazy play here for Wake Forest to clutch this out in the remaining 10 seconds of the matchup. However, Fish, like you said, has to go for a plant. You were racing against the clock. You can reset the timer just a little bit by pulling that spike down onto site. 4v3, 4v2 even. Make that a 4v1 as Conrad is going to bite the bullet. Fish not far behind, being wrapped up and sent home with a nice little bow on top. UNCG, they're putting that second round away.
This is a nightmare site to work with when you are the last one alive, and even as a chamber, you don't have any way to deny visibility like a Viper would do in a way that you stand a little bit more chances of winning those duels and isolating those targets one by one. But it really wasn't an opportunity there anymore, especially because that last jet got taken down looking at the wrong angle and just shot in the head. 11-3 then, another round going for the side of UNCG. But this is the one that we've been waiting for. Those rifles being bought by the side of Wake Forest. And they've been doing so well with them. but it's
Yeah.
hard to see a scenario where they don't get away with it.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got not only the gun advantage, but just the general kind of accuracy, mechanical skill advantage, as we've been seeing tonight. Their Vandal play just feels a little bit cleaner than that we've seen from Greensboro so far. But we're going to say Greensboro, they've been doing some pretty wonky things with these Spectres. And I think if they play their cards right, there's a good opportunity to take Wake Forest out pretty aggressively. Now, 3 going to get caught out by that hollow point knife. Cheeky able to find an elimination onto Justice in the back line. A huge kill coming through there. The Crouch, I believe, saving their life as well. 5v4. UNCG, once again, in the lead in the numbers here.
The numbers and the patience as well that is paying off so well for this defensive teams. We saw it initially for the side of Wake Forest. We get to see it once again for the side of UNCG, who are just holding, are waiting for the enemy to come and pass and right on top of this crosshair to be able to connect that kill. Now there's less than a minute remaining, and Wake Forest, they have to make a move.
Wake Forest has got to do something. On the bright side, they're only down by 1, which honestly is not that difficult to turn around. I think if they could find themselves, you know, getting a 1 elimination, they could win the traditional 4v4. But as they continue to attempt to move on to B site, you've got to wonder what's stalling the rotation. They really seem like they want to hang out on B.
Yeah, it's a risky one, and also, I mean, they don't know, but the Viper is going to be on the other side. Getting away with that second kill, maybe even a little bit more, but that plant, how is it happening?
Oh, my goodness. It's up to Fish to save the day, and it looks like he just might be able to. 18 HP in a dream. He's got the ultimate, but a snake bite leaves him at 2 HP.
That works.
Oh, no. What are you doing? No. Don't peek. Oh, peek. Oh, it's going to be Dean. Interrupts the ace. That is the second 4K we have seen from the side of Wake Forest's Fish, but unfortunately, that 4K is not going to win you the round.
A pretty expensive round coming in for both of the teams, especially because so many got taken down, so even picking up those rifles is not going to be a possibility for UNCG, the ones that just got away with it by that 1v1 and that 2 HP. I mean, I truly believe that if he had 30, even 30, he could have won that last duel, but it was just not possible. Really good utility usage coming in for the Viper right when they needed it the most, and a little bit more momentum. I'd like to see it for the side of UNCG. They are slowly finding an answer to the questions that they've had.
I think with the playstyles we've seen so far, it almost makes sense to me that UNCG is stronger on the defense. They have been a much more patient, a much slower-based team, and that is what defense is obviously all about. They're playing all the cards right, playing that calm, cool, and collected play style. I think there's absolutely a world where they bring this all the way back. Is that the world we're living in? Who knows? So far, the answer feels like it could be yes, but I'm going to knock on wood as not to caster curse anything. You know, Wake Forest constantly being 2 rounds away means Greensboro has to be playing at their 110% for the remainder of this map.
Once again, in slow push, a default coming in for the attacking side, Spike on the floor, and everyone trying to figure it out and try to take these duels one by one. That would be a perfect opportunity for Wake Forest to take us to that match point. But UNCG, they're absolutely putting up a fight into this one. They're holding. Look at the way that they're holding Satellite here.
Oh, speaking of holding, I think Justice ain't going to be holding that gun much longer. Bush, once again, a very strong player on the side of UNCG, finds that first elimination. Can Wake Forest claw back from this 1-player deficit? They have not been able to so far.
30 seconds left.
Wants a couple kills. Trying to use that opportunity, but immediately denied. Cheeky has been an absolute highlight in the second half, being able to open up the fights when he needs to, and even fuse those Spectres there, as we saw in the last round. Now doing a little bit more, but the Spike on the other side is going to be planted.
These spike plants are so weird from Wake
How
Forest.
are they happening?
Feel like, exactly. They feel like they shouldn't be happening, and then all of a sudden the spike's planted on site. You force Greensboro into a retake. Let's see if the retake will be successful. 5v3, so the number is very much in favor of Greensboro right now. However, Conrad waiting ever so patiently on this corner. All 5 of them pushing from the same spot. That cannot be a good thing. One gonna go down the trade immediately, comes through Bush, able to find Conrad. Jumper takes out Dean in the blink of an eye. Cheeky picks up another elimination. And oh my goodness, Shreve goes down. Dryad, I don't know what got into UNCG during the break, during that small minute and a half of halftime they had, but whatever it was, I mean, it is working out well.
It is absolutely working for them. Another round, and suddenly the score doesn't look too bad, right? 11-5. It's very much winnable. It's very much possible to see a comeback coming in for them, as long as they don't give that match point to the side of Wake Forest, and so far they've done an amazing job. The one thing that still concerns me though is that they're allowing the spike to be planted, and
Yeah.
UNCG, they are taking a lot of really good control of the map, really good control of space, but they're giving away the part of the map that matters the most, and it's allowing the money to go for the side of Wake Forest, and it's allowing a couple trades that makes the economy not be as good as what they should be.
All right, we've got Conrad coming in hot here, not even able to find that first kill. Oh, does not get the kill at all. Chase going to be able to find 2 on their way out the door. Greensboro all but has the back already. We'd need an absolute miracle play from the remaining players of Wake Forest to win this one, but I think I just want Wake Forest to stick together a little bit more. They're just so spread out the entire map, and it's so difficult for them to do anything because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because on the side of UNCG, there's always at least 2 members together and playing together to guarantee that the trades are going to take place. While on the other side of Wake Forest, and what we saw, for example, with that Blade Storm, it was the Jet going in alone and getting taken down alone. No one able to trade, no one able to capitalize from it in any way possible for her team. And it is so unfortunate to see, but this is what is giving so much of a numbers advantage coming in for UNCG round after round, to the point that they really start to feel like the comeback is possible, that more rounds are going to be possible, and it's a situation where you don't want to be if you're on the side of Wake Forest.
Right. This is such a good example of it ain't over till it's over. I mean, really, we were looking at, what was it, an 11-1 scoreline entering, and now Wake Forest has yet to win a round on the attacking half. Fish, however, has possibly had enough and was looking for the ace here. Oh, looks for the ace, but Armando says go Fish, able to take that chamber offline. Case able to pick up jumper as well, and Greensboro, I mean, that is just such a blink and you miss it moment.
I believe that was a force coming in for Wake Forest as well. So the economy, it is risky. It is barely dealing with anything, but just forcing anything that they got round after round. And again, it's not place where you want to be in at any point in any round, but especially after you took such a massive advantage from the enemy. 11 rounds that they were able to just take away from UNCG, and it's suddenly being stopped, it's suddenly being questioned.
Looks like we're going to be seeing an A site or B site approach, getting caught up by those KJ nades early. Justice doesn't take a whole lot of damage, but every HP counts, right? Especially when your team does not have a healer on their side. Justice can, of course, heal up, you know, if they can get a kill, but that hasn't been the easiest for them so far. We've got that Viper's Wall making an appearance, now giving Conrad the opportunity to plant. Bush caught out by that breach stun. However, the first elimination has yet to fall. 6 ultimates on the board, and Wake Forest, they are bringing one out early. We've got Jumper committing that Viper's Pit here on site just to cover the spike for as long as possible. Winning even by spike explosion is absolutely a viable way to win this.
It seems like there was some utility down that would have stopped that combat coming in for the Viper on the side of UNCG, but it didn't get connected the way that they wanted to. Spike is planted when the time is running out.
Yeah, time is definitely running out here, and I think that's sort of the name of the game for Wake Forest, right? That's what the Viper's Pit is all about. Playing that slow play style, just kind of waiting patiently to make sure you can win the round no matter at any cost. It's White getting into the ladder phase already. And it looks like that's finally going to be Wake Forest putting themselves back on the board, not even via spike, with everybody, all 10 players going down. And
everyone gets taken down at the end, so you gotta say goodbye to the rifles, gotta buy again, that ain't gotta invest again in a round that might matter the most for the set of Wake Forest. They want to get this map over what they want it to end, and it's gotta be as soon as possible. That little momentum that they were able to get can do everything, and it is the Viper's Pit that I wanted to see for UNCG when we got to see them attacking first. It was a Viper's Pit that was fast, that was effective, and that was creating so much space for them to work with. This is why Wake Forest got away with it, and now it is UNCG's turn.
UNCG's turn to shine here. That Viper's Pit making an incredibly early appearance, and Justice might be not making one for long. Okay, able to get out of that explosion, or that nade radius, excuse me. That's a very committed ultimate, I think, a very aggressive one, but I think that works out very well, especially on the defensive side. Just negating a point in its entirety goes such a long way, and speaking of negating, that's going to be a lot of damage taken off the table. Now both of the duelists going down 5v3 in favor of Greensboro once again. This team, I mean, I don't know if they're non-sponsored Gamer Liquid, like kicked in during the break or what, but they have kicked it up a notch entirely.
Yeah, something definitely had to happen there. Whatever coach they have or the IGL had to say some inspiring words for this absolute massive difference of playstyles to be working out so well for instead of UNCG. They're getting kills, they're getting
Spike
around,
down
they're getting
B.
away with all the advantage in the world. Look at that. All members alive once again, and only 2 for Wake Forest.
Enemy remaining.
I think that's the crazy thing. I think that's a huge part of the reason that Greensboro has been able to take this lead as far as they have, or this turnaround that is, to win so many rounds in a row, is because very few of them are dying. So their econ is getting better and better and better. They're carrying the same guns from round two of the second half, all the way into the most recent one that we just saw. Still, 4 of them surviving that round. And I mean, Greensboro, they have done an incredible job to turn this into a series once again.
It really goes back to something that you mentioned before, and it's the way that the attacking side has to be playing together to get value out of those rounds. We saw it when the Viper split come in. It's the only round that they've been able to get away with in the second half. And it was because, yeah, they were all together. They were communicating together and being able to trade each other right when they needed to. So now, they might be trying to do that again, especially to a fast push to the side.
And speaking of fast, I think Conrad is going maybe just a little too fast for my liking. It looks like Jumper is going to be able to finally getting a refrag and actually getting a weapon there in Nest. Conrad, as I'm talking about my distaste for that speed, it's going to be that very speed that gives them the opening to get onto this B site. They're able to find the spike plant. Can they hold on to this, though? That's the question we're all going to be wondering for the next couple of minutes, perhaps only next couple of seconds. Armando with a subpar flank. You might be able to get an elimination there, but the trade is incredibly likely. Bush is going to find an elimination.
1 enemy remaining.
But it is bouncy time for UNCG. They win their 8th round, practically in a row.
It seemed like that was so close for Wake Forest as well. They took control of side. They were able to trade the first one that got taken down, and they had a pretty good opportunity there. But UNCG and the utility that they were able to use was doing so much, including that showstopper alone. Even if it doesn't get kills, it's always creating some space to work with, and that is exactly what UNCG was waiting for, was hungry for, and they were able to get. So Wake Forest, I mean, you have to be a little frustrated, right? Something that you thought was going to be a quick victory turned out to be a longer map than you ever imagined.
Yeah, a longer map than I think any of us were expecting. Reminder, at one point, this was 11-1. For anybody who may be joining us, this was a very one-sided map in favor of Wake Forest. And now Greensboro, I mean, we saw the economy for Wake Forest is abysmal. There's such little there that if they lose this one, they practically have to hand over the next round. That'll be a 12-10, and that makes it unbelievably winnable for Greensboro. Oh, the first elimination in favor of Wake Forest. It's going to be 2, make it 3. Conrad has finally woken back up. Justice looking for a kill. They're going to be able to find it. Cheeky takes out Shreve. It is a 3v1. A Blade Storm from Wake Forest. That is certainly a choice.
I mean, it might be the last round, right? So you gotta give everything that you got, and they're just going to give everything to guarantee that last kill. That Killjoy gets taken down, and after a very long second half coming in for this side of Wake Forest, they are able to get away with that victory.
I'm always afraid. I feel like my aim gets so much worse when I pull out the Blade Storm. I'm always like, don't use it. I'll miss, I'll die, we'll lose. But now they made it work. 13-8 at the end of it? I mean, that could have been a 13-1. That was almost a 13-0 in the first half, and then they really just flipped it up, turned it on. I'm excited for map 2, which is going to be Breeze. Do you want to take, just for giggles, like a small guess if we're going to see any major changes in these team comps for Breeze?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the Viper is going to be very much a necessity, and the one thing that I'm looking for to see some changes would be on the side of UNCG and the duelists that are going to be played. I love to see Arena. I just get so happy every time I get to see Arena, but the Jets obviously are going to be a little bit more effective, and you talk about those long range duels that you have to take in a map like Breeze when you're thinking of a Jet with an op, you're thinking about a Chamber, you're thinking about a Viper that is also going to enable and create that space for the duelists to work with. So those are going to be my top 3, pretty much a necessity for both of the teams to work with. And then you have a little bit more of a free choice to work on in terms of the controllers, even though you mentioned it, the Astra is just absolutely insane what she's able to do too. So I wouldn't mind the double controller with the Viper and with the Astra just to get a little bit more space control, because at the end that can do so much in a map like Breeze.
Yeah, 100%. We'll take a look. We'll see if you're right in just a couple of minutes. But folks, we are going to throw it to a super short break. We're going to let the players, and I suggest all of you do the same. Use the restroom, get water, do whatever you got to do. But come right back here because we've got at least one more map, a third possibly on the way. We'll see you right back here in just a few minutes.
one long stinger, and you guys are live.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to ECAC Val Edition. I'm still Sepulence, joined by the talented and wonderful Dryad, and we are going to be bringing you Map 2 of what was, surprisingly, a very close Map 1.
It didn't start that way, which is the craziest part. You never think that there's any comeback possible or any close to comeback possible after it's an 11-1. But on this side of UNCG, they made a pretty good round in the second half. They had a pretty good performance. They just couldn't get away with it towards the end. And now it is the opportunity is to make a little bit of those changes necessary. We're going to Breeze, and this is a map that can bring a little bit of a surprise coming in for them. We talked about it, and I was mentioning towards the beginning, I would love to see those agents that are really good at holding those long angles as Breeze is known on. You have to take duels from so far away where you're thinking about using your operators, your marshals more than anything, and just shining in the chaos in a scenario like that one.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's two agents that we are almost 100% expected to see, and that's going to be Jet and Viper. This map feels like it is built for the two of them. And then two kind of honorary people that we might see, going to be Reyna and Chamber. Chamber, perhaps a little bit more. He's got those great TPs. He's got an operator of his own. And I'd say a good 60% of this map is long sights, right? It's long opportunities to use those operators. So it's going to be all about the agent select. We saw a couple of less conventional picks in the last map. None of them, like, nobody's playing Yoru or anything, but, you know, a couple felt maybe a little discombobulated. They were able to turn it around. We finished 13-8, and now I hear the agent select sound in my head, so I think we're going to be jumping right over to the map in just a moment.
Yeah, that's right. We're going into that agent select, seeing what Wake Forest and UNCG are going to bring to the table for this one. We talked a lot, and you mentioned the variety that we can have as well, but I think for this one it should be a little bit more of a decisive selection. It's a map that has been in Valorant for just a little bit longer compared to Fracture, so you're able to see what other teams are playing. And okay, well, as I was saying that, of course we're going to be locking that Neon.
Wake Forest feeling confident with that one. I mean, Team Liquid does it one time, and now everybody wants to bust out the Neon comp. This is going to be fascinating, to say the very least. Fascinating is truly the only word I can think of for that. Both teams also currently hovering over a Cypher, and that is weird to me.
Right, the Cypher, I'll say, it's never been my favorite. I've never felt like it can do as much as when I think of pretty much anyone else that we're used to seeing in a map like this one. But yeah, it is going to be locked, at least for the attacking side, coming in on the side of UNCG, which, like we talked about, it seemed in paper like on that last map they had the better composition, they had the more reasonable composition coming in. But sometimes that's not everything. Sometimes it's more about the kills and who's able to get what headshot first. So in that sense, it's going to be the side of Wake Forest having the advantage, but with a very, very interesting compositions for sure. That Neon, you know, I don't hate her. I don't hate the idea of bringing a Neon to the table in a map like this one that is so long, and you have to make quick rotations to make sure that your team is not going into a post plan where they have nothing to work with. But at the same time, it's not as good as something that we were talking about, a Chamber that is not coming in any of the two sides, and also not a Jet. So I want to see who is going to be the operator specialist coming in on this side of Wake Forest.
It's going to be fascinating. Maybe they're going for a couple of comfort picks, you know, but we know both these teams are here. They're here. They're playing to win. But you know who else plays to win? Lenovo Legion knows you play to win. To stand out from the competition, you need equipment that matches the speed of your thoughts and actions. The Legion Y25 monitor delivers wins in the toughest and most critical situations. And guess what? That's part one of the ad read. We're going to get back to that in just a minute here, but it's going to be, an immediate firefight Justice. So the Neon working out well here. Dean going to be taken offline. We got to talk about Dean's swap as well. From the Raze to the Jet, incredibly different play styles. Also, Bush now taken offline as well. Justice just the run and gun demon right now, tearing through two of the team already. Shree able to find one kill, traded out by Cheeky. Wake Forest, they've got double, make it triple. No, that's not how that works. They've got a lot more than Greensboro has on the table right now. Nani hiding on bricks with a dream, and just not enough to work in sight. Finds the right click on Jumper.
Oh, and last one remaining, but not for so long. The first round going for the defensive side after an amazing performance coming in on this side of that Neon that we were talking about. And I wouldn't dare to say that it is a comfort pick coming in for Wake Forest, because I don't think anyone sees Neon as a comfort pick. It just seems like a very rare thing to happen, but it's definitely a confidence pick, if anything. It is just one where you know you're going to surprise the enemy, you're going to run it down, you're going to get the kills. We saw it in the pistol round, and now Justice is even buying a Vandal and just running it down mid, it seems like. I mean, why not?
There's no better example of confidence than a Vandal on round 2. 47 HP there as well. On Neon, nonetheless, like you said, that is a run and gun. If you run into your opponent and die, you are literally handing them a Vandal on a silver platter. But right now, we're going to have to wait and see if this kill does come through. Dean coming through vents, able to find a little bit. Ooh, Shreve finds not one, but two. Dean able to find that headshot kill with the classic. Tied up in a fourth more fish. Puts one down, puts two down. That's going to be a huge opportunity for Wake Forest.
Oh, that's a nice one as well with the Sheriff. It seems like those kills are so unlikely to happen, but it happens fast. It gives a numbers advantage once again for this side of Wake Forest. And this Neon that still continues to play middle, gets spotted, has to hide for a little bit, has to be a little bit patient before engaging, but with two members alive and no equipment, really no guns or anything to work with, UNCG, they have a very difficult task.
Yeah, a difficult task ahead of them indeed. Oh, gets a little bit easier, and never mind, gets just as hard. Is that going to be the Sova falling? Jumper finds Cheeky. And I want to go back to that double kill with the Sheriff earlier. It was incredible. And I mean, with reaction time like that, you've got to have something like the Legion Y25 monitor. With its extreme 1 ms response time to its insane 240 hertz refresh rate, the Legion Y25 doesn't just keep you up, but does a lot more. Built for those engaged in vast multiplayer battles at the tournament level, the Legion Y25 offers a 24.5-inch FHD IPS panel with built-in NVIDIA registered G-Sync registered compatibility. The Legion Y25 monitor is available at Lenovo.com and other fine retailers.
Insane. Everything that these players are able to do as well coming in. Wake Forest with a 2-0 advantage. How far can they get with it? This is one thing to get risky. That third round where those rifles are going to be bought by the set of UNCG. And just looking at the potential performance coming in next. They have to be going for the other way, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Cheeky getting away with the first one, but on the other side, there's a whole mess going on.
Cheeky living up to their name, just holding a close angle and elbow like that. A hyper aggressive play. I can't believe that worked out well. Cheeky able to find another elim onto Jumper, takes the tie off the board. It's now a 3v2. Spikes been planted onto the A side, and oh, Conrad ties things right back up. I mean, that was just a phenomenal elimination. Justice smart enough to know somebody's down there. A great flash, but unfortunately not able to catch who you're looking for. The defuse, not able to find it yet. Nani can't find the lineup. That's half already. Wake Forest can just play this slow, and I think they can walk away with a round.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, now they're definitely going to walk away with a round.
Yeah, there's the last one that's going to connect right away, and also an ultimate already available coming in for this Neon. Absolutely amazing. Once again, Wake Forest starting off strong and starting off with all the kills going their way. It got risky though. UNCG, they were able to get that opening pick, and that opening pick can do so much for any team, especially on a map like this one. But at the end of the day, Wake Forest ended up capitalizing out of that map control that they're so good at holding. They showed us that they're capable of doing that in that first map, and now they're already performing to that level. I want to see the ultimate coming in for Neon. It feels like it's so hard to get the kills with, but it'll just, once again, the confidence that this player has.
Yeah, with the confidence we've seen from Justice so far, I feel like we're going to get a sprint right down mid with that laser out in the open. And the range on that thing, in my opinion, disgusting. I think it goes way too far. But, I mean, that could work out super well here. Oh, well, maybe we don't get to see it at all as Conrad walks up behind UNCG and just puts every single one of them down.
What? Conrad was just behind the wall, and of course you're not going to think there's anyone there or anyone even looking to contest that so fast, but he just goes in with the Reyna, doesn't need anything else, and guarantees the last 3 kills coming in for the set of Wake Forest. So yes, another one, and probably the quickest round that we've seen so far.
Definitely.
It's
I mean,
definitely
that round
nice.
was maybe like 20 seconds.
Maybe, yeah, something like that. It felt really fast, and it also enabled the Empress to be available now, to be online and ready for any point. And with the confidence again that Wake Forest has, it's just a matter of time.
This feels so reminiscent of what we saw last time, right? It was
Yeah.
Wake Forest starting a phenomenal defense. They went, what was it, 11-1, and then they really started to get rolled a little bit on their offense. However, they're trying to rack up as many points as possible, looking for 12-0 right now. Already the Sky falls. Dean able to take out Shreve. Armando takes out one of their own. That is Armando, and they are afraid of nothing. Oh, the Viper's Pit coming out early. That is going to be a great opportunity for UNCG to get a free spike plant.
And then on the flank, and yeah, there it is, that overdrive. Online inactive, and does get the kill 30 HP though to work with.
I don't think it goes that far.
It goes far, but not that far.
Yeah, not 50 meters far. That was a bit of a distance. Justice really going for a cheeky kill there. Oh, speaking of cheeky, gonna be the one to take Justice down. However, that Cypher not gonna be able to find a 3K in Wake Forest, going up 5-0.
I mean, only the opening alone for this post plan on the Neon and that overdrive that was being used was so nice to see. Because it shouldn't be happening. It is one of those ultimates that feels really strong, but connecting the kill takes a little bit longer than the Vandal or the Phantom that we saw in the hands of that Soba would take. So not able to connect turns into a disaster for UNCG, and they are unfortunately not able to get away with a round on this second map just yet. Because Wake Forest, they are on fire, and they want to continue having this performance.
Shreve? Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, isn't buying anything, but no, okay. Is gonna bring that weapon out. If Phantom...
Get out of my
Ryan, are you personally pro-Vandal or pro-Phantom?
It depends on the month. Literally on the month.
gun here.
I respect that, absolutely. I was definitely pro-Vandal for a while.
He's gonna do it
My
again?
Phantom.
Whoa.
Oh, he's gonna do it again. A second time. Enough about my Phantom. I want to talk about Conrad here. My goodness, already able to find 2. Looking for 2 more. Dean gonna get flashed out on site. Conrad already putting 3 down. Looking for the 4th. Every single knife is gonna be missed out. Only a classic. Their name, Conrad, the classic of their own. The face-to-face right click. My goodness, takes that jet offline. It is up to Cheeky to save the day once again. And no offense to Cheeky, but something tells me you are not winning a 1v3 with just a Sheriff. However, I may already be proved wrong. The ace not gonna be happening.
Has a Vandal, yeah. Has a Vandal to work with it, but it's still a pretty difficult one to deal with. Especially because Wake Forest, they have kind of a general idea of where the Cypher might be located.
Oh,
And the last kill, the last shot is not going to connect. That's insane as well, though, that we saw Conrad being able to do that same strategy coming in from mid and just crossing the Viper wall. And he got away with it. He got 4K this time around. Last time it was 3 kills. This time around it was 4, and it was just going up and up. At this point, we're just waiting for that ace from him.
Yeah, the ace, I mean, we've seen a 4K 3 times across these 2 maps, I think. It has been so close for Conrad every single time. I don't think we're the least bit surprised Conrad is currently top frag in lobby as well. And that, I mean, over double anybody on the enemy team. We see Justice with a 9K of their own. It is just the duelist show right now for Wake Forest.
And they wanted to be a rush, but they were being stopped so fast, though.
Oh, Dean goes for a wallbang onto a lighthouse that you cannot wallbang. That's going to be 1 elimination coming for Dean, though, able to take that Viper offline. 4v4 in Justice, or excuse me, Justice looking for an elimination. Dean able to find that kill. Trade comes through again, so a 4v3 turns into a 3v3. Is it going to turn into a 2v2? Conrad finds Dean. Nani looking for a kill of their own, and Conrad takes him down 3v1 for Cheeky. The last one left alive for, I think, 4 rounds in a row. I just do not think you are winning that 3v1.
We saw the utility and how effective it was at stopping UNCG from doing a rush that would have been effective. It's something that we haven't seen before throughout this first half, and it is a point where it was 6-0. You want to bring something else. You want to bring something new to the table, and the rush was absolutely a possibility. But with so much utility to work with on the defense and to stop the momentum, it just seemed impossible to get anything done. And by the time everyone was pushing past that choke, everyone was getting taken down as well. And it was only a matter of time before the rest, or the last members of Wake Forest to come inside and get the last couple of kills like we saw Conrad able to do again.
And I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe this round on Fracture was the round that Greensboro ended up winning. I think the econ was a little bit different as they were able to full buy in that round, but this is going to be, I believe, a first. I don't think we ever reached an 8-1 or an 8-0 on a Fracture.
They're dead.
Oh, Justice. Oh.
Spike down.
I think we're going to reach one on Breeze here. My goodness, Dean finds an elimination on Justice. This might be one of those the damage is done situations. It's going to be a 3-0 matchup as Wake Forest goes up 8-0 here on Breeze.
It's all about the map control. Once again, for Wake Forest, they are so good at holding it. This is why we've seen so many highlights coming in for Conrad, because he's just holding mid, and he's just crossing mid whenever he wants to, guaranteeing all the space control that he could dream of, along with the rest of his team. And even when you look at the composition for UNCG, sure, they have good initiators. You have a Sky as well to connect those flashes when you need it the most. But where are the smokes, right? There's no way to go into a side feeling secure
Right.
inside that Viper wall that we know and we've seen Wake Forest just cross it.
Yeah, flashes by you a whopping like 2 seconds, I think. And all right. Well, Justice is going to buy themselves about 2 bullets and a lifetime nap. It's going to be an immediate 5v4 for Greensboro. Can they carry this advantage any further, though? This is a really important opportunity for them. Oh! Conrad goes down. A phenomenal knife from D to the back of the head. We saw the neural theft make an appearance as well, trying to get some intel from the side of UNCG. They're going to get a spike plant, but we've seen them lose a 5v3 once on Breeze already.
What will it happen again, though? That is the question. All members alive and almost all of them fully healthy for UNCG. So this post play is going to be a now or never situation for them. One of them gets suppressed. Situation becomes so much more difficult when that's the case.
Oh, this is going to be huge. Now it's only a 1-player advantage. The nade coming out. Oh, Fish able to find Dean. This is disastrous. We've got Armando playing lineups. We always call those the lineup Larrys. And hey, if it works, you can't talk smack on it in the slightest. We're hearing ping bomb, ping bomb, ping bomb. I guarantee somebody's saying that right now. But Nani going to be able to buy enough time. The half was not met. And Fish has got to win via elims here. Able to find Nani, but I think you're going down with the spike, my friend. The 4K is awesome, but it is not going to be the 5. And that is Greensboro on the board.
UNCG, the first round that they're able to get away with on this first half. We gotta see what and how much value can they get out of it in terms of momentum, in terms of knowing you were able to win that last round. But mostly it was just because the Sova was all the way in the back, waiting to use that Hunter's Fury and just capitalizing from it. Those lineups that can do so much for a team. But again, no ultimate available this time around, no opportunity to get a lineup like that one anymore. So you're just once again depending on all of the kills that Wake Forest continue to be able to get faster compared to the enemy, where they're just falling behind over and over again.
Oh boy, all right, we've got the Neon ult here down mid. Let's see if Justice can gauge the distance a little bit better. And it looks like the distance is not going to be quite where we want it. Immediately taken down. Justice, I'm not even sure, got to pull the trigger on that. 4v4 though, so the trade is, worth it to an extent.
Yeah, it's not the worst case scenario is a 4v4 to work with in the attacking side this time around. Playing a very slow spike on the floor, no one moving too much, but when you're playing so slow, the defense is when they start to take control of those angles, just like we saw, that even number is not anymore.
Oh, Cheeky gets caught out by that dart as well, completely. I mean, that was hardly a flank because everybody's always checking cave, but, the element of surprise is just down and out. Like you mentioned, no ultimates this time. They're going to have to win by sheer mechanical skill alone. Armando on the high ground, able to find out Jumper in heaven there. That's going to be a huge opportunity. Ties things back up 3-3. Cypher and Viper alive on both sides. The only real difference here is Sova v KO. Cheeky taken out. It looks like one more falls. Nani the Freak taken offline. It is up to Armando to save the day. Oh, that's a bummer. I thought they were going to be able to find at least the 1 kill onto Shreve, but Fish with the flank, I mean, team was pulling enough attention. 9-1 now in favor of Wake Forest.
They knew exactly where Armando was as well after he was able to get a single kill in that area and nothing else. So a 9-1 that we have right now. Wake Forest, once again, just managing to stay on top. I wonder if we're going to end up with that same score, with that 11-1 that we saw back on Fracture. It is very much a possibility just looking at the economy, right? This is going to be a safe one coming in for UNCG, and that is going to be the 10th round potentially going for Wake Forest just based on what they have right now.
Oh, wow. What a shot from the Guardian there. I mean, that is just incredible. That's also the first I've ever seen the knife get destroyed at the exact same time the Radius actually made an appearance. So it's still, even though the knife was destroyed, they still got hacked out there. That was really interesting. Oh. You've got 1 bullet. With 5 HP, you've got 1 chance to take down whoever that is down that long sight. And if not, you've just got to get out of there.
And the Sky was stuck in that corner as well for the longest time, was pinned down by that Neon and trying to make it a little bit longer. And at this point, the numbers, they're not really doing enough in this set of UNCG. We've seen it over and over again. They have the numbers, they have the opening picks, but they're not able to close out those rounds where, of course, this is the one thing that they need the most.
Yeah, every round right now. I mean, Greensboro, they want these rounds more than they want their next breaths. Like, they really want to start racking these up. 9-3, hey, maybe the Valorant gods will smile down upon you. You can pull the 9-3 curse onto your enemies, right? There's a huge opportunity for this team to rack up some points, a lot more than they were able to in the first half of the last map of Fracture. But as I say that, oh man, it's so many times Greensboro has been so close, but look at the confidence on that. The run and gun dash in slide to a one-tap headshot. That is so bold.
Just as well in the way that he was playing there, he had the opportunity to immediately contest that or to go through window to get the kills, and it was a massive mistake as well that had to be expected coming in for UNCG, because we saw the spike being planted for window, but there was already a member in the enemy team as the Neon coming in from that side, being able to connect that kill, being able to deny that spike to be planted. And again, it is one more round, one last opportunity coming in for UNCG to get another round.
Oh my goodness, and that ultimate absolutely going to be worth it there. Jumper, there's a lot of intel on where this Viper might be, but you've bought your team so much time. Justice in the mid, finds one, not quite able to find two. It's going to be 4v3. Oh, but make that a 3v3. Here comes Shreve on the flank, takes out Cheeky as well. I think this is going to be another exact matchup in 11-1 going into the second half.
It might be, I mean, it's really building up for that. Maybe the Cypher being very low.
Ooh.
Yeah, just get taken down, and then the numbers are going to be even.
Enemy remaining.
The potential hit.
This is exactly how it ended last time. Fish clutched the 3K. I think Armando pops ults. I don't know for the giggles. I don't know for the value. I just think nobody would expect a Viper to drop an ult mid-round like that. However, Armando is going to clutch it out. The curse has been broken. It's going to be a 10-2 instead of an 11-1. That could be a great sign for Greensboro's momentum moving into the second half.
Sure, even then those double digits, they don't feel good if you're on the side of the UNCG. There's a long way to go to make it possible, and it's something that you have to take one by one. As we saw in Fracture, I mean, they had a pretty good performance on the side of UNCG. They were taking those duels, and they were positioning themselves very well. But this is one of those maps where the attacking side, especially when you have a Neon and a Reyna on your side, might be just everything that Wake Forest needs.
I'm looking now to see kind of analyze what everybody's bringing to the table. We've got a couple of ghosts. It looks like we're just sticking with the classics. No overzealousness like we saw from Wake Forest last time. In the first round of the second half on Fracture, I think we saw 3 sheriffs from the side of Wake Forest, and obviously they ended up losing that attacking push. Now Justice already down, able to deal quite a bit of damage in the same breath. Unfortunately, those eliminations are not going to come through quite yet. Oh, there it is. Conrad with the Sheriff. Okay, so last second buy on the Sheriff, able to take out Bush. Maybe a 4v4. The health advantage now in favor of Wake Forest.
A lot of damage taken by the side of the UNCG, and especially for this Jet that you want to depend a little bit more on, so she's able to connect those kills. In the meantime, though, the wall's doing everything to control that space.
This feels so unbelievably reminiscent of what we saw on the last time around. Conrad able to find Armando. Can you turn this around? Conrad able to find 3. You've only got to find 2 more. Unfortunately, nothing to heal up with. They know you're on the corner. Perhaps a peek and find the kill, but no, misses out of bullets as well. The knife kill is certainly not going to come in clutch for you there.
That was also the craziest rotation that I've seen for this Viper. This is unbelievable. There was a wall, so that means that the Jet wasn't able to spot her, and then she was able to go behind pyramids, made the whole rotation that we see her do now, and she was pretty much rotating.
Now she's getting crossfired.
Positions. It's a nightmare. It was so long, but it wasn't really benefiting the team in a way that I wanted to see. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be completely surrounded, and UNCG, they get away with a pistol round. Again, very, very similar to what we saw in the last map.
The idea was certainly there. The ambition was certainly there. It just unfortunately did not work out quite the way Wake Forest wanted it to. UNCG, they found that first pistol round win. How far are they going to carry this away? I think Wake Forest is aware that they, have to save this round, as a lot of teams normally do. Yeah, they're not buying any armor. That is certainly a choice. No armor coming out from Wake Forest, but after this round, they're going to be a little more comfortable moving forward.
Marshall.
Oh!
In the hands of Wake Forest, and already an opening pick, a really good one as well, coming in for UNCG. Once again, the economy doing absolutely everything for this team to give them as many chances as they can to win that second round.
Second round, definitely looking good. And I think Wake Forest went into this knowing they were going to lose it with, you know, the very short buys, no armor. They were definitely expecting to lose this. They didn't want to overcommit by any means. Conrad, though, a great tap onto Dean. You took the Guardian offline, even if just for a moment. But I love Bush's attempt here. Playing it slow, kind of waiting for somebody to peek this corner. However, if they rotate around the other side, you're in big trouble. Yeah, okay, just like that. However, oh my... I thought Bush was a goner, but oh my goodness, they're able to clutch that out, find a double kill, and give Greensboro their 4th round win.
The Spectre as well is so nice, and this is one of those maps where you really question if you want to play with the Spectre, if you want to buy that Spectre second round over a Marshall, again, just because of those long duels that you have to take. But this is a perfect scenario where it just works better than any other gun they could have bought in that specific round. And now, it is a rifle round. It is the rifle turn for the set of Wake Forest once again, and a bonus that is going to be on the side of UNCG, and they have to give everything that they got into this one.
Oh, it's going to be a great blind out the gate. Dean up close and personal with the Guardian, takes Justice offline. That is the 3rd round in a row Justice has been the first one to fall. I guess you could say Justice was served. 5v4 now with Greensboro on top of things. A great flash from the Viper wall. We're going through the midfield, going to be able to find Nani the Freak, a 4v4 tie-up. Is that going to be enough, though? We need to see Wake Forest break this curse a lot earlier than they were able to last time.
4 members alive in each team, and now this is the post-one scenario and where it starts, playing all the way back. And with a Marshall, not the worst thing to work with, but also not ideal as he gets spotted, and Conrad takes you down.
Conrad with a great elimination. Like I said, Wake Forest, they want to break this curse, and I think now's a great time. But Dean with the one tap onto Fish. Conrad able to find that counterplay. A great pseudo crossfire, more of a trade than a crossfire. Now it's going to be a 2-2. That's Sky, though. She is critical HP, and Sky, the only healing ability that cannot heal themselves, doesn't matter any longer. Conrad with the 4. I believe that is Conrad's 4th or 5th 4K of the series so far. However, it breaks that curse a lot earlier, just like I wanted.
It has definitely been way too many, but a nice one coming in for this Reyna, making a tough and a difficult decision coming in from the second round, where she was the only one buying that Marshall, and then also being able to get some value, still able to buy a rifle for the 3rd one, and guaranteeing that it is a round that is going to go on the set of Wake Forest. So a nice one coming in, 24-8. As she finds herself on the table. And I mean, what else can you do after all the momentum is going to win? Be the match point.
This very well could be our penultimate round if Wake Forest can keep up the heat. It's going to be Justice finding a kill instead of getting a kill. Absolutely wonderful to see it. Conrad able to take Dean out. That Blade Storm down and out early on. 4v3 in favor of Wake Forest. Oh, the Leer, I love to see it. I love to see it, but Nani loves to see nothing. Apparently, Conrad able to take that kill out. Shreve finds Cheeky. Armando has done some crazy stuff. Dropping a 4K, I'm unfortunately not sure that's in Armando's kind of back pocket.
Spike planted.
However, oh, what a timing diff, but you walk out with your knife out, and that is not what you want to be doing there. Wake Forest, they very well, like you said, may have given us our penultimate round of the series.
Armando had a good potential there, especially after a collateral coming in. A nice one to get those 2 kills, but yeah, maybe just all the things that go through your head after that happens, and the knife in hand is not going to guarantee the last kill necessary. 12-4 in that score. Only one more necessary. Wake Forest with the aggression that they played towards mid. I just want to see it again, but it seems like it's going to be an A push, and it might be a faster one.
Justice going in early, as if they've learned from none of their mistakes earlier beforehand. However, a bit of a change. The trade will come through. Justice able to find Dean, but Nani picks up a kill of their own. Armando with a hyper-aggressive Viper Spit, trying to catch somebody out. I love the Judge. I love the Hydro Dip skin as well. I have the same one equipped. Oh, Shreve going to get flashed out down mid. Bush looking for the opportunity to strike. A lot of slow game right now being played. Somebody just wants to find that next elimination, as this is a 4-4 matchup.
And towards mid, that's when kills can become the most difficult as well. The defense in the sky just being able to run away to hide behind those double doors without getting taken down. And sometimes this is all they can ask for your initiator. They can also give you some HP if needed.
Conrad able to heal back up if they'd taken any damage to that point. Nani is going to fall. Cheeky's camera falls offline as well. It's about 45 seconds until a new one can be placed. Bush finds Fish. The tie-up again, 81 HP, so you're really still making it out in pretty good shape there. Only about a bullet of damage. Shreve with a plant onto B site, which is wide open. Looks like we've got a bit of a longer rotation onto the A. Cheeky getting lucky there. That Conrad did not have the gun pulled out. That gunfight was still incredibly close, and all of a sudden the pincer effect is happening here. Shreve is going to get folded in on like a lawn chair.
We've seen a lot of clutches coming in for this set of Wake Forest especially, but this one might be an extremely difficult one. Everyone pushing at the same time in the set of UNCG, and without the DPS, it's going to connect to give them their 5th round on this map. Still a long way to go, still very much a match point coming in. But Wake Forest, they made some mistakes there, and we saw them on the earlier round, and we saw them not even being ready to take those duels, so they couldn't clean up and they couldn't get over this map as fast as they wanted to. At least one more is going to be needed for that.
3 ultimates at the ready, nearly 4. I mean, basically 5, right? Obviously, the ult economy on the side of Wake Forest is incredible. We're 1 orb and a kill away from Jumper getting that Viper's Pit. Conrad, a single point away from getting that. And then 3 ultimates already at the ready. That laser in particular, that Neon beam, such a strong ability, and I feel like we have not seen enough of it. I'd love to see a little more. KO gonna have that ultimate come through, that nullifier. Able to find Armando, and it looks like Dean as well. So no abilities online for a good chunk of Greensboro for the time being. They're going to rotate out, play a little bit more of a slower game, and look for the elims. The spike is B right now. Justice, a rude awakening that nobody is on site. Jumper with that first kill onto Armando. Conrad finding one onto Bush. Nani takes out one. Dean finds another. It's a tied ball game. And instead of planting on the B, Justice is going to rotate for the kills on A.
And if Justice gets taken down, this is not going to be ideal because the spike is all the way back, and who's going to take it? At least there's only one member alive, so good potential here. This might close it out.
It's over.
Yep.
Attackers win.
Oh man, that got really scary. With that neon rotation, I was terrified on what was gonna happen.
It's absolutely an interesting to see the decision making coming in, where the entirety of the 4 members or your team are going to be rushing towards the A side, and only the neon with the spike is going to be on the other side. I mean, I understand that you want to have one lurker, but with the spike at hand and also being a duelist, you start to question things. But it worked out, right? At the end of the day, it worked out. It gave them the victory, so that's all that you can ask for at the end of the day.
It certainly worked out. I think that was a very not great play, but luckily enough, the team was able to capitalize off the back of it. You had the spike, you had an open sight, all the stars had aligned, but hey, a win is a win at the end of the day, and as a wise man once said, we absolutely take those. And that is all that matters at the end of the day. Wake Forest with, I believe, a 2-0 victory on the day, 13-8, and then 13-3, 4? I don't know, not very much though. A much more dominant performance there on Breeze here tonight, and I think we're going to get to talk to one of them in just a moment. We're going to be throwing it to a super short break, and we'll be back with an interview in just a few, so we'll see you then.
guys are acceptable.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for our interview of the evening. Wake Forest with their first victory this split so far. Not only a victory, but a 2-0 at that. I'm Septilence, that's Dryad, and this time we are joined by Duelist Demon themselves, FB Justice, the Neon Extraordinaire on Breeze. So, Justice, my first question, man, a very simple one. You know, you guys have a pretty rough couple of weeks, but coming into this, you find not only your first victory, but a pretty flashy one at that, a 13-8 and a 13-5. How does that kind of feel for team morale moving forward?
So first things first, I gotta give props, Duelist Demon. I think that's gonna be my new nickname.
I'm glad to hear it.
No doubt about that. If everyone's not calling me that, there's a problem.
Oh no.
Alright, team morale-wise, look, I'm gonna be honest, our team is like the very definition of like, we do a little trolling. We don't take it as seriously as we should. Last game, I was I was dealing with some stuff. I wasn't in the right mindset. Did a little too many. I was chiefing a cart too much. Look, when it's all said and done, we got a team full of bright prospects. We're looking great for the next season. We're all passionate about Valorant. We love this video game. It's so much fun. I love it. And yeah, we're gonna win.
Absolutely.
We're gonna keep taking this bracket by storm, just like we did today.
That is probably the best mindset I've ever heard. I love that. So I want to ask, you know, so we're talking about taking things by storm. Your Neon today, not only a super unconventional pick, one we certainly were not expecting, but you were pretty nasty with it out there. I mean, you were getting some crazy run and gun kills. So I want to ask, is that kind of, or are you just starting to pick her more out of comfort? Is that a comp you guys are actually looking into running? Or is that just a spur of the moment, hey, let's try it?
You know what, look, I've played Neon a few times for this team. Every time, top frag, alright, maybe not this time, because
every time but this time.
Yeah, he's kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, usually I frag above Conrad, he's trash, he's washed. But like, yeah, my Neon goes crazy. You gotta go fast. I main Sonic and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You know, I just like running at people and shooting them in the face. That's my thing. I think I did a pretty good job of it today. It's unconventional, throws people off. That's what's up. It's the move.
And I got a question for you in regards to what is coming up for your team. So the season, it's pretty much still feel like it's just starting and everyone's starting to get that momentum for the upcoming matches. And you say that your team is feeling pretty confident, but is there any specific match, any specific team that you're looking forward to face in the future?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't look at the teams much. I didn't even know who we were playing tonight. I just go in with a fresh mindset. Just like, I just wanna play, wanna win. You know, my boy Conrad's dropping aces every game. Fish on the chamber, got that flick down. He's in FaZe Clan. You know, like, we got it like that. Tom Shreve on the fucking like Sentinel. My boy Gabe, he's got the Viper like that. Like, it's done, man. All these other teams should be trembling in their boots. It's over. We got this season on lock.
I love to hear it. I love the mindset. I love the mentality, man. This is a blast. That is, I mean, yeah, it is fantastic to hear. And it looks like my camera just stopped working. Whatever. We're almost out of here anyway. Just one more question for you, Justice. Is there anybody you'd like to give a general thank you or just a shout out to before we let you go?
All right, you know what? I gotta give one shout out. This is an important one. Look, my team captain Gabe. I love him like a brother. We had a little skirmish over the weekend. Fists were thrown. Some bodies hit the floor. Not on game. IRL off server. And you know what? Through the skirmish, through thick and thin, he's my boy. He's my captain. He's the Viper. He's got the lineups. I love you, Gabe. You're gonna lead us to victory. Gabe, he might, Jumper, the guy on the server, he might not be the flashiest player. He might make really, really bad decisions, but he's the best player on our team, and he's the most important player on our team. And that's why we're going to end up winning.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Incredibly said. FB Justice, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for a spectacular interview, man. Tell your teammates as well, a great job tonight. We cannot wait to see what y'all are going to do next.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. I hope I can be on here another time.
Maybe we'll see you soon, my friend.
Yes, sir.
And with that, folks, we are going to call it a night. For whatever reason, my webcam has completely crashed, and we're not going to go through the efforts of putting it back because this sentence is one of the last ones I'm saying. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us tonight. It was a great series. It has been a pleasure. Triad and I love getting to cast Valorant, getting to cast for ECAC. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Chad Lantis in the back line and Professor Layton for the observing and production you guys have seen respectively. Shout out to the schools for coming out tonight. Shout out to each and every single one of y'all for watching. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other. We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your night.